Okay, today, Algebra 1, we'll be covering Chapter 1-7, which is on the distributive property. So the distributive property is about multiplication. And this first example, for example, this is 3 times the quantity x plus 8. And there's a multiplication implied there in between the parentheses and the 3. So what I have to do is I have to multiply everything in the parentheses by 3. So I use these arrows here to mark that off. And this is all you're doing. You're not combining anything after that. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 8 is 24, and that's it. Okay? Don't add 3x and 24 together. You can't. You can't add numbers and variables together. Add numbers with numbers and variables with variables. An important part of math problems is knowing when to stop. All right, so we stop there. Number 2, I got 5b minus 4. And then this negative 7. So this is actually the same kind of problem. The only thing that's different is they put the negative 7 on the right instead of the left. So I'm going to multiply both of those by negative 7. 5b times negative 7. 5 times negative 7 is negative 35b. Negative 4 and negative 7. When you multiply 2 negatives together, you get a positive number. And then I can multiply 4 times 7 and get 28. Once again, you're done. Don't add variables and numbers together. You can multiply and divide them, but you can't add or subtract them. Okay. Number 3. This is a little different kind of problem than you'd expect to see, but what is the sum or difference equivalent to 7x plus 2 over 5. And it's a multiple choice question. No, it's not. Sorry. All right. So, how do you do this as a sum or difference? There's a few ways you could write this. Usually, if you're going to break this up as a plus, I can take the front part, which would be 7x over 5, and then the back part, which would be the 2/5, and this is one way you can write it. There's a variety of ways you can write this. This is the x here. You can either keep it there, or you can also move it in front. You can also move it in the front there, okay? I think and I'll use any of them. All right, or 7/5 x plus 2/5. That's another way to write it. So those are the two main ways that they're looking for us to answer that question, okay? Is to break it up. So you put, both pieces of the numerator over that denominator, whatever number that is, and keep the plus sign in between them, okay? I think I like this one better, so if it was me, I'd probably get used to that way. That's the way you see it more often than the top one. Okay, all right, so that was that one. A little out of the ordinary type of question here. Number 4. This one is an important one because it comes up a lot. There's a number that's implied in front of the that parentheses there, and it's a 1, okay? So one way to think of this is I have a negative 1. I'm going to multiply both of those things by negative 1. That's one way to think of it. You can also think of it as I'm distributing that negative to both things inside of the parentheses. Either way, I'm going to change the signs and I'm going to get 2y plus 3x, okay, once you multiply that negative 1 times those things. Okay, either way, that's the answer. Number 5, I got negative 3 times negative 2x plus 4. So this one I'm going to do distributive property. I'm going to multiply the negative 3 times both things inside. Negative 3 times negative 2x is positive 6x. Negative 3 times positive 4 is negative 12. And that's the answer. Don't go any further. Number 6. 1/2 of 6x minus 8. All right, so everybody's favorite fractions. These always look harder than they are, especially with this one because these are both even numbers. So multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. Multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. As long as you got a 1 in the numerator, that always works. And the other thing I could tell you is of means multiplication in math. So if I said, what's half of 6 to you, you'd go, oh, it's 3. Well, then half of 6x is 3x. Half of 8 is 4. And there's the answer. You could also take the calculator, go 0.5 times 6 and get 3, and 0.5 times 8 and get 4. All right. I got 2 U-tries for you to close things out today. So I would like you to do this one. And this one. You can do those 2 and bring it to me in class, and we will pick up from there tomorrow. All right, have a good night. I'm going to close it out with a little bit more music.